wait up to later in the afternoon. So that's why a few members are not here. They are engaged in another committee meeting. Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair and members. My name is Samuel Obonyo from the Office of the Auditor General, Mombasa Regional Office.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Leonard Opar, the Director of Audit, Mombasa Regional Office.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Gumbo Agneta from the Office of the Auditor General.
Karibuni, National Treasury. Today we have apologies from the National Treasury, but we have the control of budget.
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Dishon Mohabashi, Parliamentary Liaison Office from Office of Control of Budget.
And we also have the EACC.
Thank you, Chair, Honorable Members, Excellence Governor Patrick Inoti from the EACC. Thank you.
Karibu. Patrick, you are not gone on record.
Yes, Chairman. My name is Patrick Muriuki, the Liaison Officer from the Office of the Auditor General. Chairman, you realize we have 2 meetings today, so I'll be running between the 2 meetings.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Now, did we invite the County Assembly of Kwale?
Yes, Chair, we did. I've spoken with the clerk this morning. She told me she's not able to send the team to this meeting.
Fine, that's a loss, but we'll proceed. Governor Kwale, go on record.
Good morning, Chair and team. My name is Fatuma Achani, Governor Kwale County.
We could allow your delegation to go on record.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Sylvia Chidodo, County Secretary.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is CPA Bakari Hassan Sebe, CC Member for Finance.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is CPA Alex Onduko, Chief Officer, Finance, Executive Services and Economic Planning.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Members, my name is Francisca Kilonzo. I'm the CC in charge of Social Services and Talent Management. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Salim Gombeni Suleiman. I'm the County Attorney.
Good morning, Chair, Honorable Members. I am Michael Mutua, CC Tourism, Trade and Enterprise Development. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. My name is Ali Joto, the CC in charge of Roads and Public Works, Kwale County. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, Honorable Members. My name is Hassan Ngala Chuve, Chief Officer in charge of Trade and Enterprise Development. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is CPA Hamisi Mwakadingo, the Acting Receiver of Revenue.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. I'm Salim Zimbu, Chief Officer Roads and Public Works.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Anthony Mamunga, Chief Officer Tourism and ICT, Kwale.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is CPA Biasha Gasari, Director Internal Audit, Kwale County.
Good morning, members and Chair. My name is CPA Charige Kuria, Director Accounting Services, Kwale County.
Chair.
Okay, fine. So before we go to administration of oath, we had deferred the adoption of agenda so that we could get a seconder. So again, you may propose, Senator Chirati.
Yeah, I propose.
On chair, second. Thank you, Senator Sifuna. So we proceed to administration of oath.
I, Fatuma Achani, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Mr. Chairman, sir, I hereby table the following documents before the committee. management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on County Executive for the year 2024-2025, management responses and accompanying annexures on the report on the Auditor General on the receiver of revenue restatements for the County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025, management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the County Revenue Fund for the County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025.
Auditor General, could you confirm that you have been able to review the documents and you are ready to prosecute?
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm that responses to the audit reports for the year under review were received in our offices on 26th January 2026, and they are in the form and manner that is prescribed by law. And the missing can proceed, Chair.
Clerk of the Senate?
Yes, Chair, I do confirm that we received the responses on time.
Fine. In that case, unless there is any preliminary matter, I believe we should go straight to the report of the Auditor General, beginning with the report on the County Executive. Now, we must set some ground rules. We are seeing a lot of documents on our desks. This is not an audit session. The audit has already been done by the Office of the Auditor General. They were in Kwale for a period that perhaps did not exceed or was not less than 3 months. How long were you in Kwale, OAG?
Chair, we were in Kwale from the month of September 1st.
From September to December?
To December.
To December.
For the final audit.
Yeah. So the audit has already been done. In the 2 hours that we'll be sitting here, we will not be carrying out X-rays and CT scans. We will just be doing prescription. Because the auditor has already done the X-rays, has done the CT scans, has done the blood tests. We are not going to repeat that. Our job now is to make recommendations, which then, once adopted by the House, we will require you to put in place. So we get a bit worried when we have records, we have accounting records coming to the Senate rather than being sent to the Auditor General. So if we take that approach, we will move very fast. If there's an issue where the Auditor General agrees that the documentation has been provided, we will not waste time on it. If there's an issue where the documentation has not been provided, we will also not waste time demanding for it. We will just make recommendations because they ought to have been provided at the time of audit. So let's proceed. And before you give us your opinion, let me ask Senator Dulo to go on record. Karibu. OIG, what was your opinion on the financial statements for the executive?
Chair, the opinion for the financial statements for executive was qualified opinion.
Now, let's go to the basis of that qualification. And submitted an inaccurate employee costs. You have confirmed that subsequent to the audit, you have received the documentation.
Chair, I can confirm that we have verified schedules that have been provided by Kwale County, and they support the difference that was noted.
So, Governor, our prescription there is administrative action. You must take administrative action on the officers who fail to provide the documents during audit. Unsupported expenditure on other grants and subsidies?
Chair, on unsupported expenditure on other grants and subsidies, these were expenditures, or there were grants paid to county TVCs, and management has provided documents in support of the expenditures or the transfers. But given that the audit had been closed by that particular period, we can only verify the same documents during the subsequent audit.
I think subsequent audit is too far. You have to do this within the 60 days implementation period.
So, Chairman, will reorganize our teams and verify from the respective TVCs and furnish you with the report.
Fine. So unless there's a different prescription, honorable members, I think we can allow the auditor to advise us on this in the next 60 days. Unsupported voided transactions.
Chair, on this, management has provided explanation that they indeed wrote a letter to National Treasury, and we are not able, however, to confirm whether there was approval from the National Treasury. They have also indicated that they had not forwarded their request to COB, so they should also demonstrate that indeed the request had not reached the level of COB.
So then this we must put to the governor.
Yes,
Governor,
Chair.
these transactions that were voided, had they been approved by the COB for payment?
They have not been approved by COB.
They had not been approved by COB.
No.
So this voiding, was it year-end procedures, or what was it?
Okay, CC will.
The voided transactions are not for the year end. They were done before end of the year, and they were necessitated by the shift by central bank from the previous system they were using to the T24 system. It was communicated to us that we do cancel all those transactions that had reached the internet banking level in the previous system, which we did. But later on, the system implementation was postponed to 1st July 2025, meaning we voided them. Then thereafter, the transactions were returned to the system and paid accordingly. But those ones that were voided never reached the control of budgets level.
You to just liaise with the Auditor General and the entity to give us that assurance, because if they voided transactions that you had approved, that would be criminal. If it's for procedural reasons or bookkeeping reasons, then we understand the challenges in IFMIS. Controller?
That is not a chair, but since the transaction, the requisition had not reached the level of control of budget, then in that case, we may not have any.
I just want you to confirm beyond reasonable doubt that they have not reached the control of budget, because it is now their word, and that their word must be confirmed by the COB that indeed, whatever they voided, you had not granted any approval.
That is not it.
Honorable members, we can go to budget of allocation on trade and other payables. This one, I think, is still outstanding, so Auditor General will read your finding, and then the Governor will respond.
Chair, the statement of financial position and authority to the financial statement reflect trade and other payable balance of 2,956,470,310. In 2023-2024, the balance was 1,931,836,751. Review of approved budget and work plan for the year revealed that the county executive was granted approval to spend an amount of 2,515,659,360 in respect of trade and other payables from previous years, out of which an amount of Kenya shillings 926,145,109 and Kenya shillings 799,260,715 was paid during the year in respect to recurrent and development payables respectively. However, the existing trade and other payables balance brought forward was lower than the approved allocation, resulting to an over allocation by an amount of 583,822,609, thus compromising budget credibility and authenticity of the expenditure. In the circumstances, the accuracy and regularity of the actual payments of 926,145,109 and 799,260,715 on recurrent and development payables respectively could not be confirmed.
Governor, you may respond.
The approved budget contains projects carried forward in form of commitments and pending bills uploaded in IFMIS vote book under economic item domestic payables from previous years. COB uses the pending bill vote in vote book to approve payments for both pending bills and pending commitments, and as contained in the approved budget as summarized below. The total domestic payables vote as per vote book is 2,924,407,976, while the total approved by the control of budget is 2,515,659,360. Hence, the approval to spend was within the budget. There's a table which shows the figures and the total payments, which is 2,308,351,773.
Auditor General, what do you make of that response?
Chairman, while the governor, honorable governor, has attempted to explain this, what we are asking is what was the basis of the budget of 2,515,659,360, given that the payables balance as at 2023-24 was 1,931,836,751.
So, yeah, Governor, how do you address that?
The Chief will respond.
Honorable Chair, that vote for domestic payables carried forward contains two items: pending bills and projects that are ongoing for a previous year that we carry forward into the next financial year, so that we have a provision to pay. So all, when you put them in IFMIS, they go under one code. That is domestic payables for previous years. Now, what we withdrew from the controller was 2.5 billion, 2,515,659,360. That is the approval the controller gave. From that vote, which it comprises of 207,307,585 for municipalities. Why we are separating that from municipalities? Because municipalities make their own financial statements, but it is still under the same code, which remains for executive, which is 2,308,351,773. And that is what we are breaking down into pending bills of 1,725,405,825, and commitments brought forward that were paid, where we sought approval from the controller, is 582,945,949. So that is the vote we're using. And you remember, Chair, when we were here last time, the committee recommended that we do not bring in pending bills as supplementary. So we changed that so that now in this financial year, the projects that have been carried forward have been budgeted properly as rollover projects, and the pending bills have been accounted as pending bills to avoid lumping them in these votes of domestic payables brought
Now,
forward.
the question is, did you have a meeting with the OAG before coming to Nairobi?
Yes, we had.
Did you give that explanation to the OAG?
Yes.
OAG, that explanation, because, I mean, we'll get lost in technical speak. As I said, you have done diagnosis, you have done the CT scan. Our job is to prescribe. We don't want to go back to the X-ray. Having listened to that explanation from that gentleman, what is your position? Is it still your view that there was budget overallocation? And if it was budget overallocation, does it then mean that they paid more than they ought to have paid, because the layman interpretation here would be that they paid 583 more than they ought to have paid. It's the impression that we should take home.
Not really. I think it is become more clearer during this committee meeting. Something that it should have done earlier, but nevertheless, I think it is important that these explanations and documentations are provided at the point of audit, so that we do not come here and labor over issues which we should deal with at our level.
Senator Achani.
I think mine, Alex, you have just explained what your governor read. You didn't give us a way out. But I think the basis was, it is about the budget, because the OAG was talking about the budget credibility. I think the issue was, what was the justification or the basis of these expenditures? And I've seen you are provided, is it a budget extract, Governor? Is that the position? So let me ask the OAG, you have talked about the reliability of the budget. Did you want to see an extract of the budget that this money was allocated and approved by the county assembly? So that you see this budget line, including the pending bills, the domestic payables and others? Or was it the issue of non-provision of documentation, which is a violation of the law? I yield back, Chair.
Yeah, Chair, it was a non-provision of relevant documents for yes.
Budget, sorry, Chair, have you seen the budget?
Chair, we have now seen.
Okay. Yeah. But I thought also in that was assented by the governor. You know, the tentative budget, so this budget you are talking about, it was assented by the governor, you have a view of it, and you have a copy.
Chair, we do.
Okay.
Now, the documents that we have, unless the members have, that note 32 seem not to have been printed out. I don't know. Members, do you have visibility on note 32?
No, Chair.
Because if you had note 32, we would have been able to see the aging of your trade and other payables. We'll be able to see how much of it are staff payables. Can you let us know, you close the year, when you close the year, what was your total outstanding payables? Break it down between staff payables and those ones of other debtors, and break it down by age.
Chair, I think I can see in page 41 of the financial.
It's in page 41?
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
mine was not printed.
Not number 23 or number?
Page 41.
Yeah. And they are talking of under 1 year was 2.5 billion.
So if we have it, maybe clerks, you could get me a copy of that page.
On the original certificate. On the original certificate. Page 40. Page 40, 41
yeah,
here.
Just produce it. But even as because this is your document, you might want to tell us, be the one to read it out for us. Okay. Because if Senator Cherargei reads it, you might claim that those are numbers from Nandi.
No, Chair, but I have a copy of the OAG certificate.
Yeah, I'm protecting you. Okay. Let the governor read their numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. In the financial statements that we submitted for audit, our analysis are debts that are underway.
Start with the total amount you close the year at.
The total amount was
Because yesterday we saw a county with almost similar features. I think that was Kitui, having a pending bill of only 300 million. So we want to see how you compare.
Chair, in the financial statements on statement of financial position, note number 32, our trade payables are 2,956,470,310. That is in the statement of financial position to the financial statements.
How much of that is staff payables?
There is no staff payables, zero.
No staff payables?
Yeah.
So you are fully up to date. Statutory remittances?
Yes.
That one is at zero?
It's at zero.
OAG, you can confirm?
Chair, we can confirm.
Okay. So what's the age of this debt?
Chair, just out of curiosity, number 32, trade and other payables. There is other payables, what we call staff claims, 13 million, and employable payables. What is this 287 million? 919,937.
This one, it was the opening balance here, first position, but as of the closing, this one.
These are allowances. Yeah, Chair.
So you need to be careful. The fact that I still don't have a copy of Note 32 does not mean you are going to take me round in circles. Because I can see numbers relating to staff in
Chair.
that schedule.
Yeah, that is in our financial statements. Page 49 of the financial statements, which is Note 32.
Yeah. So, Senator
the opening statement,
yeah,
that is as at 30th June 2024, so coming into 1st of July, our trade payables were 1,628,822,736. Then there was staff payables, that is 1 month's salary for the month of June, 286,919,937.
Is it 287 or
287.
Oh, you are saying 286.
287
maybe
million.
You can sit, maybe when you stand, you don't...
No, let him just stand. I think it's good for visibility.
Oh, for visibility, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then other payables, which are staff claims. Staff claims is reimbursements for staff allowances. At the opening of that financial year, we had 15,094,078, which totaled to 1,931,836,751. At the close of the financial year, that is 2024-2025 financial year, trade payables were 927,168, and other staff payables were 13,543,142, which gives to a closing total of 2,956,470. Sorry, 2,956,470,310. And the aging analysis, $2,683,947,837 were under 1 year, which is 91%. 1 to 2 years was 114,598,518. And between 2 and 3 years, 157,923,892,000, which is 5%. Yeah.
So why do you have that huge figure under 1 year? Was that delay in exchequer?
Yes, the reason is delayed in exchequer. Mostly they were for projects.
How much was released outside the reporting period? Does it net off that amount?
Yeah, it does.
How much was it?
There were two installments. Yeah. There were 2 installments that had not been released by the end of the financial year. And what was netted off also was, and there are grants also that are part of this figure.
So, Governor, you're saying if you would have received your remittances in time, you would not be having 2.6 billion outstanding for that year?
Yes, Chair, because most of the projects were complete.
Okay, so if that was the case, why are you still holding 271 million worth of pending bills that are over 2 years? If we are using the principle of FIFO, why do you have 157 million that is 2 to 3 years, 114 million that is 1 to 2 years? What is the problem? Why can't you pay them if it's a fast charge?
Chair, as I'd explained earlier, that in that vote there are 2 compositions. There are pending bills and work in progress, which we call commitments. So if a project is not complete or has stalled for some reason, we may not be able to pay it.
Does that explain the total 157 million 2 to 3 years? Because that could be just one speculation. If you are to provide a schedule of pending bills totaling to 157, that is between 2 to 3 years, are they all going to be work in progress? Or there are people who supplied vegetables 3 years ago and you don't like them and you're not paying them?
No. It will be projects. We will submit that analysis, Chair.
Governor?
We've paid all the certificates as at now. So
with the release that came late, as we sit today, your pending bills are not in the billions.
No.
As we sit today.
No.
They are not in the billions.
Yes, we paid.
Okay. Auditor General, you might need to check that because I don't want to be too quick to congratulate them until we have the facts. Senator Sifuna.
But Chair, this is the first instance. You know, we had an entity here which was budgeting 100 million for pending bills that were over 2 billion that would take them years and years to clear. This is the first time I'm hearing such an accusation from the Auditor General. And you have rightly pointed out that these conversations need to happen in Kwale so that we don't have to come here to clear the air. I don't know if it is the Auditor General prefers to do these meetings in Nairobi. It appears to be easier to gain clarity when we are in the Senate.
Auditor, unless the county does not cooperate at the time of audit.
Yeah. Chair, we are flexible. If you want us to conduct the meeting in Kwale, we are always more than ready.
I can assure you, Kwale is more beautiful. We don't have beaches here in Nairobi. We can get you some nice places to where there's a upepo wa bahari.
That might compromise our judgment, so we are better off here in Nairobi.
Chair, maybe I can weigh in on the debate. You know, Chair, most counties have been grappling with this issue of pending bills. And you've seen that it's happening in Kwale. And Chair, I must implore with you, I must really plead with you that you must congratulate the county of Kwale because of the way and the steps they've taken in making sure pending bills are really reduced. This is the only county that everyone in this country, Chair, wants to be a supplier and a contractor because payments are in good time. And you can see the auditor has confirmed that indeed that pending bill is not that much. And I'm sure Governor is taking steps towards making sure the same is addressed. So Chair, really, you should really congratulate the county. Other counties have appeared before me and we hear very colossal figures, 2 billion, 3 billion in form of pending bills, Chair.
Chair, let me protect you.
Whose instructions are you working on today?
I am under no instructions, Chair. I'm just solely relying on the audit reports as it is and the explanation by the able gentleman, our Chief Officer, Mr. Ondoko, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, Senator Jimera should choose whether he's with the committee as a friend or a friend of Governor. Maybe, Governor, before congratulations come and flowers, what is the pending bill as of today? What is the pending bill as of today through the Chair?
200 million.
Then there can be no congratulation until you achieve zero. We'll give you flowers and chocolates and congratulations.
Tell us about Nandi payment bills.
No, it's, Nandi is not under review. We'll handle Nandi at that point, so relax.
Fine. So Auditor General, I think we keep this in view, and during the implementation cycle, you give us an update to confirm whether what the governor has reported is true. If it is true, then if you give us that confirmation, we shall not hesitate to use Kwale as a model for the other counties. Because honestly speaking, there was a county here that had 4 billion in terms of pending bills. We have seen counties whose pending bills are 50% of their total revenues. And I think it is unsustainable and unacceptable. So, unfortunately, Senator Sifuna, this is not one of your ODM counties. So for you to say that your counties are doing well, even though I think there's the people on the ground are generally your people. It's just the leaders who might not subscribe.
Absolutely,
to
Chair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fine. So I think we keep that in view, but encourage, please, do not let this run away as it has done in other counties. Let's go to unresolved prior year audit matters. There were 14 issues that came out of our conversation the last time you were before the Senate. Again, we made recommendations. Those recommendations ought to have been implemented. Governor, can you confirm that the 14 issues listed here, you have responded to them, to each of the issue in your written responses?
Yes, Chair.
If that is the case, because if you are to discuss them again, it will be like going back to the meeting we had last year. But there are two projects that we had flagged where we want to get an update: construction of wholesale market at Kombani and incomplete construction of governor's residence. So on construction of wholesale market at Kombani, is this the one that had a court matter? Yes. Could you tell us how far you have gone with this?
The matter has been before court for, however, the county received a ruling on 21st January 2026, allowing access, occupation and operation of the market. We've attached the court ruling.
No, Governor, I'm trying to follow where your annexures are.
You can see the documents are paginated. Maybe you can refer the page.
Yeah, because the placeholders are not labeled. Yeah, Kombani.
Volume 2.
Which volume? Yeah, these are the things we say should not be happening in the Senate, going through records after the audit has been done.
It's Annex 327.
3? That cannot be C.
376.
Page 376.
76. Is it 4C?
Annex 4C starts from 376. So, which page? Okay. So, just take us through that, Governor. What is this letter about?
The county attorney is here. He will respond.
County attorney? last time you were here, you were very bullish about success on this. So tell us how it went.
Thank you, Chair. The Kombani market matter has been in court since 2021. There were some injunction orders against the county government. Chair, I want to confirm that the matter has so far progressed to hearing. The contractor, who's the plaintiff in the matter, cleared their testimonies. It went to the defendant's side. I wish to confirm that of our 5 witnesses, 3 have so far testified. The matter came up for hearing last week, and it previously had a hearing date for today for it to be finalized. But on Thursday, when the matter was coming up for hearing, let's testify. Then we were given a further date to.
What is the purpose of this document you have exhibited? What is the import of this ruling?
I was coming to it, Honorable
That's
Chair.
what we
Thank
start
you.
with, because we are all looking at it and wondering how that story you're telling us is relevant.
I'm rightfully guided. In the pendency of the suit, Chair, we filed an application for us to be allowed access to the market, because there were injunction orders against the county government and there were some cases of vandalism. So we made an application to court, and on the 21st of January, the court ruled on that application and they allowed the county government access to the market for purposes of securing the market. And there are some 2 sheds which were outside the scope of the Kombani market project that we were also given access and the right to use.
So as the matters go through that labyrinth of court applications, only 2 market sheds have been put to use.
Yes, Chair.
But were those part of the total amount that the Auditor General queried?
The 2 sheds were out of the scope of the Kombani market project, but the orders gave us access to the market for purposes of securing the market. But in the construction of
the market itself,
yes,
whatever was paid for,
yes,
is still not put to use by the traders of Kwale.
Yes.
Because those 2 sheds are outside.
But they are within the.
No. They are not part of.
They are out of the scope of the Kombani market project.
Yes.
Chair.
So Kombani market, whatever was defined as Kombani market, is still not value for money, because the traders of Kwale still cannot use it because lawyers are still arguing in court.
That is the position, Chair.
Okay, so since it's a matter that is live in court, I think we discussed this at great length last time you were here, even in the preceding year that you were here. I think it's a great disappointment that citizens can see a market with their eyes. They can see their money in that market, but they can't be allowed to do any business in it.
So just for clarity, has fencing begun?
Not yet, Chair. We received the orders on 21st of January this year.
So we keep this in view because it's a recurring matter. I think we'll look at the details of the written responses and if need be, make further recommendations. But I believe last time we made certain recommendations which we will track to see whether they've been implemented.
Maybe out of this, as the county attorney, some of these issues emanate from lack of ownership documents. Remember last time we were discussing about land issues. Have you been able, for example, in number 7 on the ownership documents of ECD centers in Kwale? And Chair, let me disclose the distinguished advocate was my classmate. And he's doing a good job.
Thank you.
Looking at you like that.
I hope this one is real because you used to claim that the lady from EACC was your classmate.
She can confirm that Patricia, myself, and I were in class together.
It is true, Chair.
He and she and Patricia.
Okay, fine. Let that not be a sign of favor on the part of the members of the committee. Yeah, so Senator Cherargei, you have taken us back to issue number 7.
Yeah, just comment on lack of ownership of construction of ECD centers. Have they been now secured? Because we know that region normally has a problems with issues of land.
So very, very quickly, that was a prior year audit matter that ECD centers do not have ownership documents.
Yeah, Chair, maybe before that is answered, the attorney said they have not fenced off the property. I just want to understand, now that we have orders to have access to the market, has the county perhaps, I want to believe that will be done or is being done, just clarify whether you've taken steps towards making sure there is enough security on the property so that this vandalizing stops.
Thank you, Chair. We've made considerable steps. We've had several meetings at the market with the traders, with the community, and I want to confirm that we have made arrangements with the Kenya Police Service at Kombani AP Post. We have our county enforcement officers also on the market. So currently the market in terms of security, it is secure.
Could you, just for memory, how much was the contract for Kombani? How much money is just sitting there, idle, as lawyers slug it out?
$118 million, Chair.
118 million. Okay. Lack of ownership documents for construction of ECD. I think it's easier for you to read your written response because I can see you have addressed it there.
Chair, the county government has engaged a consultant to undertake the subdivision and transfer process of land to the county government of Kwale. Attached are copies of the tender notice and notification of award for consultancy services for preparation of public land registration. The attachment is at Annex 4B.
Okay. Governor, incomplete construction of governor's residence. Again, we spent quite a lot of time on this at our last meeting. Please respond. Give us the status update.
Thank you, Chair. The matter is still under active arbitration. The status is that, unfortunately, after the demise of the advocates for the contractor, they haven't appointed alternative counsel, so the matter is still held in abeyance at the Chartered Institute of Arbitrator. However, on the part of the county government, Chair, I wish to confirm that the county government has set aside a budget for the completion in the event that the matter is concluded in good time.
So this 50 million budgeted would be on top of how much that has already been spent?
160 million, Chair.
So these residents would be 210 million when you exclude the legal costs, because those legal fees are related to the project. 210 million.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, sorry, we were with the committee then led by Senator Governor Chila Yeko. I don't know whether Dulo you were with us in April 2022 when we visited Kwale. Although the residence looks palatial and is very elaborate, for us who have built 210 million, looks, that's a lot of money on a residence. Yeah, I think 210 is a lot for that residence because I visited there. We access, I agree, at that time it was in desolate, so I don't know, maybe the AG will tell us whether the contractor is on site. But 210 million is too much.
I know at our last meeting we discussed it extensively with a lot of dramatic effect, and I think it even caught the attention of the public. The question would be, when counties have started projects that have gone above the threshold that the Senate had approved. We were here with Bungoma County. They were able to demonstrate that their governor's residence, they've capped it at 40 million. And the deputy governor's residence has been capped at 35 million, in line with the Senate recommendation. So I think we must agree as senators on what to do with these counties that started earlier before we had put in those ceilings, and the costs keep escalating. Because if Bungoma had that Kwale is doing a residence at 210 million, I'm sure the governor will want to make adjustments so that they can be like you. So I think, members, we must take a very clear position to the House on how to deal with these counties that started earlier, but then they've been caught up in tussles, and then the costs keep rising. But I think the last meeting, it must have been Senator Sifuna, who was quite alarmed at the expenditure, and I believe we were asking all sorts of questions on the kind of residence that we are putting up. It is a problem. This committee needs to address it and come up with a proposal for Senate to adopt. We said you needed to perhaps achieve this in a phased manner. Have you considered that approach instead of trying to complete everything at once, Governor?
Yes, that's what we are doing.
So this 50
But we are
million,
waiting for the arbitration first.
this 50 million, can deliver a building in another county. So if you budgeted 50 million, what is it meant to achieve?
Through Chair, this is per engineer's estimation.
Yeah, so what do
This
they
is to
want
completion, I guess.
Completion of the entire project or completion of a phase? Because we had advised you last time to phase the program, the project.
It's a phase.
Which phase is that? That is 50 million.
Maybe.
Because
Chief
Bungoma
Governor.
is putting up a governor's residence at 40 million.
Depends on the structure.
Yes,
the BQ.
it does. But if it's a phase, if you agreed you are going a phased approach, we are quite, it's quite interesting that you've allocated an amount equivalent to what other counties are using to put up a complete residence, just for a phase.
Thank you, Chair. As we face up the project, there are aspects of the project that you have to do 100% complete, like drainage. Because when you do drainage and looking at the landscape the way it is, it must be complete even for the other buildings. If you are doing access, it must be access from the road to the residence alone. So that is why that it's not just the house itself, but we have to complete in aspects of drainage and part of landscaping for that building.
But Chair, interestingly, you are talking about landscaping before the main substructure. I thought those are things you do after. And I thought the residence is not far from the main road.
No, now, from the structures that were done, there is no drainage, so the solid waste disposal is not done. So we have to do that drainage for the liquid and solid waste. Then we have to do drainage for runoffs, for the building, as we complete the main building.
Chair, just a quick observation. I think, Chair, you have made, we need to take back to the floor because we had capped the construction of governor's residence to be 40 million. I think for the speakers, 35 million and 35 million for the DGs. So I think now the question is, we need to convince the Senate why Kwale is doing a governor's residence at 210 against our capping of 40 million. Although I remember your neighbor spent over 110 million plus in buying one in one of your neighborhoods. Finally, Chair, in this one of arbitration, just an observation. Governor, I can see you said one advocate died, but I can see is this Njuka Consolidated Company Limited. There are almost more than 5 advocates. So why don't you, because if it is intended, my worry is that that building will get wasted away, the fact that nothing does, and you and me know that. So why when one advocate dies, everything stops? Is this the same people from Njuka Consolidated Company Limited?
Honorable Chair, Njuka was being represented by the firm of Dr. Mutubwa. The firm was on record for Njuka, and unfortunately he passed on. And since the demise of the advocate, they have never replaced their representation.
So through the chair, sorry for telling law, so long as Juga does not appoint any advocate, this thing will stay in abeyance for the longest time.
We've written to the arbitrator.
Okay, so since it's a matter that is live in court, we will review the responses that you have put there. But the key thing is, let's not have monuments in Kwale that have been put up but are not being used. We have seen that the other project, the market, is now looking like a monument because it is nicely done but not utilized. The governor's residence is also becoming a monument or perhaps a white elephant. So members will need to craft recommendations and take to the House.
Sorry, Chair, let me just correct for the record. I remember in April 2020, the Finance and Budget Committee, I think the governors were supposed to do a maximum of 45 million. County deputy governors was 35 million, and county assembly speakers was 35 million for the constructions of their residence. Sorry for saying 45.
And we have proven that some counties have stuck to those limits.
Correct.
And I think Bungoma was sitting where the governor was. They confirmed to us that their budget was 40-point-something million. Let's proceed with the other issues in the report. There was a non-compliance with the FIF Act. Auditor General, you indicate that in as much as they've tried to account, there's still 4.9 million outstanding.
Yes, Chair. As at the close of the financial year, they have now demonstrated that they paid or they reimbursed 31,446,211. But the amount in question was 36,114,817, which they have also indicated that they reimbursed subsequently in the year 2025-26, which is still under audit.
Governor, is that the position?
Yes.
So, Auditor, what do you recommend? We allow you to review it in the subsequent period?
Chair.
Fine. Irregular drilling of borehole at the industrial park. The question we must ask, is there a borehole at the industrial park?
Yes, it is there.
Is there water?
Yes.
Is it being drawn? Is it being used by the public or whoever was supposed to use it?
Yes, it is being used at the construction site.
So now we can go back to the regulatory compliance issues. Drilling permits, hydrological surveys, and NEMA approvals. Auditor, were those ever presented to you?
Chair, subsequently, the same have been presented. They have a NEMA approval dated 27th January 2026. And
27th January 2026?
Yes.
Does NEMA approve once after the fact? Governor, how can you give us a NEMA approval of last month for a borehole that has already been dug and water is being drawn?
Chair, the CC is here. He can respond.
Because that calls into serious question the authenticity of that approval. Where's the CC?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I wish to respond that when the industrial park construction began, one of the challenges that was faced there was the availability of water. So this, the entire contract for the industrial park included the drilling of a borehole. So the contractor began drilling the borehole, but when we realized that he has begun drilling a borehole without the required documentations, the accounting officer did write a requisition for them to provide those documents. Eventually, the documents were provided, but there was a delay in providing the documents, though the construction was still going on.
I don't know which question you're answering. The question we want you to answer is why you have provided a NEMA approval of 27th January for a project that was already complete. And the other one that you must assure us is that you have not cooked some document in River Road and brought it to the Senate.
Honorable Chair, the project is not complete because it was an entire county aggregation and industrial park.
The specific drilling here is NEMA approval for the borehole. Now, Auditor General, is it your contention that that borehole, that specific one, required NEMA approval, or is it the entire project that required NEMA approval?
Chair, before you do a borehole, you need NEMA approval. You also need permit from Water Resource Authority.
So,
the two documents.
Is it before or after you have done it?
Before.
So, what kind of deals are you guys doing with NEMA such that you are getting your approvals after? Senator Sifuna.
Chair, you finish your line of inquiry. I have a totally different direction that I want to go.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
To Malizani Haraka, then I hand you over to Sifuna.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the client in this, the point I'm trying to bring forward is that the client in this, for us, is the contractor. So the contractor, before they begin drilling the borehole, they were supposed to provide these documents. When we realized that these documents were not there, then the accounting officer wrote to the contractor to ask them to provide these documents.
That was after you had paid?
No, before. The request from the accounting officer to the contractor
is that documented? Is that documented?
Yes.
Is it in the files before us?
Yes, Annex 6.
Annex 6. That is volume 1 or volume 2? And which page number?
Page number 41. 481, sorry.
Yeah, because you guys are complicating very simple things. Very simple things. 481 is the one with the diagram. Where is that correspondence by the accounting officer to the contractor?
Chair, page 535. Chair, the letter is dated 15th of April, 2024.
So Hassan Gala, is that the gentleman speaking?
Hassan Gala is the accounting officer, Chair.
The date of that was?
15th April 2024.
Was there any response from Azar Construction Limited?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Where is it?
On the 22nd of April 2024.
And what was the response?
Honorable Chair, the contractor wrote back acknowledging receipt of the request regarding the required drilling permits, hydrological survey, and NEMA compliance. They also did inform that the police be informed that these documents are currently being worked on and all necessary documents will be submitted accordingly within the stipulated times.
So who provided that one of 27th January? The contractor?
Yes.
Senator Sifuna.
Chair, first of all, I want the entity, the county government of Kwale, and all county governments or entities who appear before this committee, not to fall into this perception that Sifuna is somehow something that is supposed to scare you. When you are handed over to me, it's not supposed to be scary. We have these conversations in order for us to advance the cause of devolution. As you know, I am a firm believer in devolution, and I took an oath to defend counties and their governments. My problem, Chair, is with these water agencies established under the Water Act, which have no business being in the water regulation functions. Because water is a devolved function. You are telling a county government that before they drill a borehole, they have to go to, what is this Warma thing? Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And this is the conversation that some of us want to have, that all the functions that are devolved be devolved. And we have no business having national government institutions overseeing devolved functions. And when we get the new dispensation, I want to assure you, the people of Kwale, these are some of the things we are going to do. In the next 18 months, in the next 18 months.
Which one?
In the next 18 months, when we kick out the current administration, some of these things.
I think, Chair, we agreed yesterday that this committee, we should retreat to the audit under review.
We are discussing
the
audit under
politics
review.
of 2027. Sifuna, prepare yourself out there, not here.
I was born prepared. What I'm saying is this conversation,
members, it's approaching 1 o'clock.
Just let me conclude.
Yes.
This conversation should not be seen in the lenses of politics. You took the same oath that I took, Senator Cherargei. You should also tell us if you believe that we should have these water agencies there. We signed a document between you and us to devolve all functions. We have 1 month to go. These are the conversations we should be having. There's nothing wrong with that.
Can I say something about issues of devolve? And because I think the best, while I agree with Sifuna, I know the problem is chairman incited you and you walked in. So what I'm just saying is very simple. These are issues the governor through the annual summit can be escalated at that level. Say that, I agree water is devolved and devolution should be protected. But in as much as that should be done, these are issues you can escalate at the summit that you normally have as governors and at technical level, intergovernmental technical. No, I'm not saying Senator should not speak. You can speak, but you know what to do. Maybe I can assist where you feel you are inadequate.
Honorable members, the power is in our hands right now. And I think that Senator Sifuna brings an important point, that there are conversations that we must have. They don't even have to wait for another dispensation. We know that the Water Act is flawed. A lot of money still remains at the center. Agencies that really doing things that counties should be doing. We know the Roads Act is completely flawed. Agencies at the center doing things that should be done by county governments. And really, I wish that could be the conversation we have with governors when they appear before this committee. I wish those are the things that governors were talking to us about or speaking back at us about, instead of them fussing around on how they are going to be treated before the Public Accounts Committee. I mean, ukiiba umeiba, we cannot gloss over things here. But I wish that the conversation was around the statute and constitutional provisions that need to be brought to life. So even though Senator Sifuna has walked out, we were looking at the example of Flocker. If you've decided to drill boreholes using Flocker money, you'll probably spend 300,000 per borehole on regulatory compliance, isn't it? Because you have to pay WAMA, you have to pay NEMA. Who else do you need to pay? Hydrological survey. You are taking money back to entities that by definition are not national government entities. There was an issue of procurement capacity building levy, which has not been cited here. I wonder whether Kwale is paying that, because other counties have demonstrated how difficult it is to pay it. That 0.03%, is it 0.03 or 0.3% of all procurement contracts shall be disbursed to a levy for capacity building. You know, those are the conversations we should be having with governors. The work that, whatever the Auditor General has said, if money is lost, it is lost. It is not our job here to cover it up. If things are bad, they are bad. It is not our job to sanitize anything. But we are looking forward to the day when we'll be having that progressive conversation on how to amend the Water Act. And indeed, we have attempted to push amendments to the Water Act, but the cartels there are worse than the cartels in Kitui. They are worse than the Sun cartels in Kitui.
There's a suggestion that has come from Senator Cherargei. I'm just wondering, Governor, what is this summit that Cherargei talks about, and how many of them have happened since you were elected?
There's one that just happened yesterday.
Governor?
There was one just last year, end of last year.
So what is preventing, because you know me, I'm not a member of the summit, What is preventing you from having those conversations that Gerard Gay is saying you should escalate? We are 18 months to the new dispensation.
Senator, you want me to answer you?
No, I'm just saying.
No. The debate is okay, but don't mention the new dispensation.
Why
here.
not?
No, this is not political platform.
Yeah, this
that is not politics.
Yeah.
Why are members oversensitive today?
Chair, you know.
No one is oversensitive.
When
It
people
is
are going home,
Sifuna,
they are a bit
Chair,
anxious.
it is Sifuna
It's called
introducing
separation
strange
anxiety.
things to the meeting.
Can I
Or
speak,
those
Chair?
cockroaches running from a sinking ship.
No,
It's called separation anxiety.
Which singing ship? You know, Chair, you are a member of Broadbase and you are now
Senator
running into the trap of Sifuna.
Thank you,
It is
Chair.
dangerous.
Cherage, thank you,
Yes.
Chair. You know, Chair.
You know he's a rebel in ODM, so
Senator
don't follow
Chimera.
him.
Chair, you know, I am the youngest senator in this forum today, Chair, and I really want to learn from my seniors. We have an issue here that is the county government of Kwale under review, Chair. We need to contextualize issues. The context today, with a lot of respect and humility to my senior colleague, Senator Sifuna, you have all the forums, Senator, to propagate your politics out there. Even I think a few hours ago, you were on the explainer, and you had all the chance, Senator, to propagate your politics. Please allow us to do our job. Let us appreciate what is being done in Kwale. Where there are issues in Kwale, we
just
correct, Chair.
allow the
But don't
governor
play
to answer
politics
the
in this forum, Chair.
No, the suggestion came from Senator.
No, it is you who brought it up, Chair.
Okay, honorable members.
So let her answer what conversations happen.
This usually happens when you've got boring things, 1.2 million being brought to the Senate. You know, it's not a very elegant thing to look at 1.2 million of projects out of almost a 10 billion budget. But Senator Sifuna, for your comfort, the summits are like the Nyota event. I think I've given you your answer. Let us proceed.
Chair, why don't you allow the governor, who is a member of the summit, to answer? You are not, I'm not, Sifuna is not. And Chair, with all due respect, Chair, you need to be careful with Sifuna. You know, he's a blind man on this. He can lead you into a pit. Chair, you are a good man and you might be a cabinet secretary in the next dispensation. Please, guard your interests very carefully.
I think that is blackmail. But Summit, Nyota, same WhatsApp group. Let's go to irregularities in procurement. So we'll take note of your written responses. The good thing is that there is water. There is value for money. So the rest are regulatory compliance issues, which I don't think are beyond redemption. Governor, who is your head of procurement? Is he or she in this delegation?
Oh, he's not here.
Why? When there are almost 8 issues that have an implication on the professional competence of that officer.
Chief officer can respond because he's the boss to...
Is the chief officer a member of the Institute of Supply Chain Management? Procurement is a regulated profession.
Why the procurement officer is not here?
Why is the procurement officer here? Because you want us to start discussing dates on contracts, variation of dates, notification of awards, things that any competent procurement professional should not allow to happen. We have 2 pages, actually 3 pages, of procurement issues, basic procurement issues. The first thing we would do is indict the head of procurement and ask the professional body to take action. So why isn't the head of procurement here? Because they will say that we indicted them and referred them for disciplinary action without them explaining their story. Governor.
It's a lesson learned. Next time we'll have to be with them.
Or do you want to take responsibility as a chief executive officer?
No, because most of these things are technical.
We find ourselves abused and misused if these are the things that we are coming to discuss at the summit. That a notification letter was done 2 days before or 2 days after. And Governor, if these things came out during the time of audit, how come they were not closed? How can we close them here at the Senate?
I instructed my team to visit the auditors to close the issues, and most of them I think have been settled.
Auditor, because I'm not going to waste time going through issue number 3.1, 3.11, 3.12, 3.13, 3.14, 3.15, 3.16. Was a variation done before the expiry of 12 months as cited by the Auditor General? It's a yes or a no?
Chair, the variation was on the measured quantities, not the total, not the contracts. The variation was on the measured quantities as the works was progressing.
So what are you saying in English?
What I'm saying is that during construction of that particular road, there are those elements of works that are provisional, that are subject to remeasurements once payment is due. So during remeasurements, you'll get that there are quantities which are slightly higher than what is quoted in the bills of quantities, but still there are quantities which are lower. So that is what went on, and we have provided.
So you are arguing that Section 139(3) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act does not apply to those kind of fluctuations?
Chair, my argument is that the Section 139, Part 3, is relating to the contract price.
Auditor General? As we go into this is very important to establish, because as we go into this report, there's a place where you have reported that they did variations up to 1,007%. So, can you give us your opinion on what the officer is saying?
Yeah, the officer is right. Variation is on the contract price, but as I indicated earlier, it is important that we keep guard as the officers do implementation of these projects, not to probably overvary certain elements of the projects, because when they are doing the big lot of quantities, they are very specific on what the bill, the quantification as per the bills. Then when we get to the ground, as we do verification, we realize that there are certain items which are now probably overbilled or overvaried, and we want to keep management in check to ensure that even as they carry out these projects, they don't vary certain sections or elements of the projects at the detriment probably of other critical.
So your submission is on prudence.
Prudence.
But lawfulness. What they did passes the test.
They're still on course, yes.
Okay.
It passes the test, yes,
Senator Chimera, your intervention.
No, Chair, I'm just thinking, you know, Section 139(3) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, seemingly there's nothing to vary the contract. Just that it has to happen within the 12 months from the date of signing of the contract. So as to what the OAG is saying,
not could within, after.
So it's lawful to do that. But then again, I'm looking at situations whereby a contract is entered into, well executed, and then there could be delays in mobilizing and partially executing that particular contract. Then that means the entity procuring is at liberty then again to vary this outside the scope within which is provided under law. So I don't know, how then do we look at it that way? Is it an issue to do with the law? Because now lawfully and justifiably, the entity being the county government needs to vary it upwards. But then again, the timing is an issue. So perhaps there has to be a conversation around that area, Chair, so that this doesn't really repeatedly becomes an audit query in many issues, yet it is a mischief in the law, Chair. Thank you.
Fine, so...
Chair, my only concern, if OAG, you agree with the entity, then why did you escalate it? Because that's the explanation they should have given. So does this matter now rest there?
Yeah, man, yes.
So as we cite the head of procurement for professional negligence, is this one of the issues that we can attach? Or in your view, this one was done lawfully?
Yeah, what we are trying to say is that you find there are certain projects probably stalling And the reason is they tend to spend or vary certain elements of the project within implementation at the detriment of the main element of the project. Probably if they were doing a road, now they say maybe they give so much money on a bridge or something, an element of the project. And at the tail end, you realize that the project may not be completed because so much money has been spent in the initial stages on areas which are probably not critical and not aligned to the bill of quantities. This is what we are trying to keep guard of.
Fine. Let's proceed to Vinuni Tiwi Sokoni Road. Is this complete for 226 million, Governor?
Yes, it's complete and in use.
And in use?
Yes, we've attached photos of the same.
Again, there is a question of variation. Auditor General, do you stand with the observation, or the entity has been able to demonstrate that they were compliant? You again cited section 139.3 of the Act.
Yeah, here there was a real variation.
There was a real variation?
Yes.
This was done before expiry of 12 months. Governor?
Let me read this. Let me read the response.
No, if we read the responses...
Let me give opportunity to the CC
We'll
to
leave this
respond.
room at 6.
Let the CC respond.
Yes, CC?
Chair, the amount in question was 24 million, which amounts to 15%. But that amount was only included in the bills of quantities, but it was not wholly spent as a variation. What happened is that during the implementation of the contract, which was a one-year contract, it was extended by 196 days for reasons of late payment and a lot of relocation works. So the necessity to extend the contract gave reasons to extend preliminaries, which the extended preliminaries gave rise to a need.
Variation, or it was a contract extension? Are those the same things? Is a variation and a contract extension the same thing?
I'm explaining the need for the variation.
You are going too far.
Okay.
Just take the penalty. You don't have to walk back 100 yards. Is a variation and a contract extension the same thing?
Chair, I thought we are not doing audit here. The question is very specific one. Sukari imeanza kwenda chini.
Yeah, so tell us, so that we know whether section 139.3 applied to this or not.
Chair, I want to start by stating that the contract sum was not varied upwards. As we speak, the contract sum was not varied upward.
So what is this 24 million about that you have acknowledged?
This is just a provision that was provided to cater for uncertainties in the future.
Was this money invoiced and paid, the 24 million?
No.
Auditor General?
What was paid, Chair?
Auditor General, this 24 million you have cited, was this a payment or this was just adjustment of the BQs?
Chair, within the bill of quantities, the contractor did a variation of prices of 24,368,412, being 15% of quoted measures works. What we are saying is, why do you do variation at the stage of that preliminary stage? Yes.
Chair, that is a good observation reading the audit. Then why would you do variation at the early stages? Yet you at the timeline, the contract aspects are still there. Or is it a plan of stealing?
Governor?
Chair, it might look like a plan of stealing, but the actual position is that it is not. Because the amount was... Yes.
Do you know the law?
Yes.
The law, there is a process of contract extension and variation. You do it after. or even immediately before the lapse of the period for the value of money. Why would you do an early stage if it is not something mischievous? Or the law in Kwale is different from the law we have in the country?
Through the chair, let me make it clear that we did not do variation at the beginning of the contract. What was there and what the auditor correctly picked is that there is an amount of 24 million, which is 15% of the contract, that was placed there in the unlikely event, or in the likely event that something unforeseeable happens that causes the contract to go beyond 12 months.
No, Governor, we are not doing, I made it very, very clear that we are not doing the audit today. The audit has already been done. The Auditor General has given us a report. Your officer had an opportunity to explain these things to the Auditor General when he was in the county. This is not going to be the forum for doing that kind of conversation. If the Auditor General still maintains his position, we shall proceed recommendations. And our recommendations will not be far from the suspicion that Senator Cherargei is alluding to, that these could be clever ways of looting public resources.
Chair, I can imagine in every contract in this country, not national county, they will be putting money in a likely unforeseeable event. You know, this is like the case of a county that when they appeared here, they told us that the original documents had gone with the water, but they had photocopies. And they're not prepared for the emergency. So my brother, be very careful. If that is a tradition, it should stop. And I wish, Chair, we need to, the head of procurement, even if he's not here in absentia, these are irregularities of procurement. They must be surcharged to the relevant professional body. I
think these are issues of professional negligence, because about 8 issues where perhaps what you would consider to be small issues of procurement, but to the public they're not small. If they keep recurring, then you've got a systemic problem in your procurement function.
And Chair, maybe now my classmate are more, Governor, because I think in all these procurement processes, there's always a professional opinion. Yeah.
And the professional opinion is done by the head of procurement.
Yes.
So that's the person.
Yes.
If all these things are happening with their professional opinion under their watch, we must go to the section of the law that allows this committee to even recommend that a public officer is not fit to hold public office. Because you can't have 8 issues relating to one docket and reports. So I think, honorable members, we shall craft a recommendation.
But maybe, Chair, as we punish, maybe in these evaluation committees, tender committees, now that the county attorney is there, what is their role in all these processes? They should also be part of the consultation so that they can guide. Do you normally guide them? Maybe under 30 seconds through the chair? Or the head of procurement never consults you?
After this audit, I noticed that the county attorney's office is not involved. So I've given instructions that before any tender is given, it has to pass through the county attorney's office. The documents have to pass through the county attorney's office.
Fine, that will cure the future, but it does not cure the problems in this report. The psychiatry ward, again, regular contract. Irregular means, it's something irregular cannot be cured at the Senate. There are people who accuse the Senate of sanitizing irregularities. If it is irregular, it is irregular. If it was irregular at the time, when it leaves the Senate. So let's start with the value for money. The psychiatry ward, does it exist?
It is complete.
Auditor General, what was the breach in law?
The issue is documents, minutes, indicated that the winning bidder was awarded a cost of 17,900,000. There is no evidence that has been abused by management on whether the price was negotiated with the winning bidder or how the price was valued by overseeing.
Can you explain to us how a 10 million tender came to be 17 million.
The tender was for 17 million, but the project was done in phases. The first phase was 10 million. The second phase was 7.7 million. And when awarding to the contractor, this was communicated. There's evidence that the contractor was informed.
So you disagree with the finding, with the observation
Yes.
of the Auditor General?
Yes.
Auditor General?
Chair, this was has never been brought to our attention. If it is new information, as the governor has responded, maybe they should bring on board the relevant documents in support of that position so that we can review and appraise ourselves.
Remember, there's no other audit. You already did the audit. There's no other opportunity for document review. So, Governor, whatever you are basing on to support your assertion is files.
Yes.
Where is it?
Unextracted.
Page? Volume and page?
Chimera anajua kabla ya governor. Are you the Senate candidate for the governor?
The chair shall remain blind and deaf.
Yes.
For now.
Chair, I'm a consumer of documents. The documents are before me. I've just read.
Okay, just say it was page. Now, Auditor General, you said confidently that you have reviewed these documents, so that page 599, what do you make of it? Because this observation, the way it is, if you are to put it out to the public, it will indicate that this is theft, brazen theft, daylight theft. So, OAG?
Yeah, the contract that was given and was reviewed by our teams during the audit of 2023-2024 was for 10 million. If there is another contract which has been availed or they have amended, then that should we should take time to go and review. And also confirm the scope of works that has been undertaken as a result of that maybe varied works.
Chair, maybe OAG, I can see from 599, notification of award, it says to inform you that the application for the total of 17,918,205.6. This notification of the award. So the contract has 10 million. So what is the relationship between this notification of the award and the contract?
Can be explained by the accounting officer.
Okay, Chair, I can see notification of award says 17 million.
Chair, maybe before that explanation is done, Chair, I just want to understand one thing from the auditor's office. Did you interact with these documents during the audit cycle? The documents that are here as an Excel, especially page 599 and page 600, which is a contract, basically, all the way to 6, I think to 603. Did you have a chance to interact with these documents?
No, Chairman.
Even as you sit today now?
Chair, in line with what Senator Chimera is asking, the reading of this contract says, the client hereby agrees to pay the contractor for said work or proposed construction of a psychiatric ward at TV at the sum of 17,918,200 inclusive of VAT. The contractor shall know that the current budget for the project is 10 million and therefore the payment of contract shall be 10 million shall be paid, 7 million will be paid in 24-25. Is this the same contract you are seeing and what we are seeing?
Chair,
601.
What was availed to us supported 10 million. Whatever they have now given, we only have a chance to scrutinize, look at it and probably appraise ourselves with the same, and also go on the ground and just find out that works, the scope of work that has been undertaken is supported by a contract of 17 million and not 10 million.
So they didn't provide this at the time of audit?
Yes, Chair.
And that's why it found its way in the final certificate. You see, Governor, that is a problem. That the auditor made this observation that is very adverse. This is very adverse. That a contract, the contract sum is 10 million, but through some magic, the evaluation committee has awarded it at 17 million. What that indicates is that maybe 7 million was put in there for the evaluation committee members. I mean, that's the analysis that someone can make out of it. And this will be outright theft. This will not just be the head of procurement. These will be the members of the evaluation committee who should be investigated and prosecuted. Sure. You are saying that there are some documents that you have brought to the Senate, which is not doing audit. Why didn't you provide these documents to the auditor when they're on the ground?
The information I have is that this document is the one which was provided to the auditors. The document which we have, which I've produced here, is the document which was produced to the auditors.
Okay, Senator Chimera, then we give directions.
Chair, you know, these projects usually they are quantified in nature. There's a value attached to a project, Chair. When you look at the documentation, and I want to speak on records because it's a house of records, Chair. Maybe perhaps and the county government should be faulted on the fact that if at all there was late provision of documents during the audit cycle, then that is wrong. But then again, Chair, looking at the audit query as framed, Chair, any layman basically would want to imagine this is a pure attempt on theft. But then again, the clarity is in this manner, Chair, and I'm not trying to answer the question on their behalf, Chair, but I've read the document, that contract. It says the contract price, Chair, is 17 million. It's there on the contract. And then again, it goes ahead to explain that the budget currently budgeted for is 10 million. And that in the next subsequent budget, I don't know whether that's what the council was trying to communicate, that in the next subsequent budget, Chair, it's going to be a 7 million payment to be done. So if you do 10 and 7, my son, Kendrick, will tell you, and he's 8 years old, he'll tell you it's 17 million, Chair. So, you know, that again puts the facts into perspective. So it's an issue between the Auditor General's office to clarify on the wording of the contracts. If the documents were availed then this should not have found its way as an audit query in this manner, Chair. So I think that's the clarity that, unless the county government has anything else to say, I believe it's on the budgeting.
I think we'll leave it at this point, that let the Auditor General check the documents that have been submitted, verify the authenticity, and if they address the query, we shall make the appropriate recommendations. If they do not, then we shall use this as an example to any other member of an ad hoc tender evaluation committee not to play monkey games. So, Auditor, you'll advise us, because we intend to write our report and send to the House in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Before we do our report writing, you'll have done a proper analysis of the documents.
Chair, Leonard and your team, the OAG, maybe the governor, this is better answered by the governor, or both, no, the OAG. You know, Chair, these issues should have not been escalated up to this point. Exit, entry, management, Governor, who is the highest ranking officer who normally engages OAG?
Should be the CC Finance.
So CC, Governor, you have never found time to meet the OAG at any given point? Then I thought that these issues are raised before the final certificate is raised by a CC.
Yes, Honorable Member, they are raised before the certificate is issued. Normally, there's a management letter that we respond to. Thereafter,
where is the hub based? Is it in Mombasa?
Yeah, we are in Mombasa.
So it cannot be 3 days the way another entity explained to us that they need 3 days to take documents from the account to the hub. Yeah, so I think, Chair, the only comment I can give, yes, Northern Kenya, but people say it was nearer from Mandera to Nairobi, but far from Mandera to Garissa. But that's a story for another day. I think my advice to the governor is you should be keen. If these issues through the chair can be resolved by that, we would not be going through such issues. Thank you.
Chair, Patrick, please allow me to say that during the audit process, the auditor uses what we call evidence tracking sheet. And in that sheet, they are able to document the information which was asked, who was asking, the number of times it was asked, and when it was delivered. So that evidence is there in the file, Chairman. So,
and indeed, if it contradicts what the governor stated, for the first time, we'll cite someone for lying under oath. So please go review the documents that were presented to you. If this is not what was presented to you, then someone must take responsibility and must be held to account for perjury. Let's proceed to Kwale Stadium. Governor, do we have Kwale Stadium? Or it is like the one in Bungoma where there are offices but no playing field?
Kwale Stadium is there.
It's complete?
It's complete.
Was at 178.5 million delivered.
Chair, we can confirm that the stadium is complete and in use, and the amount spent, the people of Kwale are now deriving value for money from the same.
The lawfulness and procedural issues that you cited?
The lawfulness issue, I don't think they have a cure because the issue that we raised here was the contract was signed on 6th February before lapse of mandatory grace period of 14 days. We will have to live with that.
So these are the professional negligence that we've been talking about from the beginning. Yes. Fine, we shall deal with that.
Maybe, Governor, maybe this was used during one of the national celebrations. Was this in partnership with the national government, and is there now a canopy? It was there. It is the county office.
Governor, be on record when you're responding.
Canopy is there. There's part which was done by the national government, but we are talking about the part which was done by the county government. The better part of the stadium was done by the county government.
Okay, because when we visited in 2022, largely it had been done.
Okay,
anyway,
members, let's move a bit faster. Fruit processing plant. Governor, is your fruit processing plant working? And what kind of, what's a product out of it?
The fruit processing plant is still under construction. We are now at phase 3. We are doing the fruit processing plant in phases.
Auditor General, what were the irregularities you cited in its construction? Were they procedural, or was there outright theft of public resources?
These were procedural violation of existing procurement laws.
Again, professional negligence?
Yes, Chair.
So we keep this in view because the project is still going on. Market stalls at Msambweni Hospital. Governor, are these complete?
They are complete.
And traders are in them? They are not like the other one?
Yes, they're in use.
They are traders. It's in use?
Yes, it's in use.
So, Auditor, here, was it a value for money question or it was a lawfulness question?
It was
but you can also confirm that they're complete, or you need to go back to
Chairman, we were there on the 2nd of this month, that is on Monday, and our teams confirmed that they are complete.
Fine. So all these issues we have talked about where the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act have been violated, professional sanctions must be recommended on the head of that function. And of course, where an accusation of loss of funds, investigation and prosecution will also be recommended. Trade revolving fund management system, again, is a violation of the Procurement and Disposal Act. Is it just an issue of lawfulness or there is loss of funds?
Lawful, value for money.
Value for money?
Value for money, Chair.
If it's a value for money question, and perhaps considerate of the time, we shall review the written responses and make appropriate recommendations. Market stalls at Kigato. Governor, are these complete?
They are not yet complete because we have an issue with the Kenya School of Government on the ownership of the land.
Kenya School of Government is a distinct entity such that you would know that this land belongs to KSG, this land belongs to the county Government of Kwale?
In between, where we are doing the stalls, there is a dispensary, government dispensary. There's also a VTC. So I don't know why they brought an issue on this one, and yet we have a dispensary which has been there for long, and also a VTC which has been there before devolution.
What are the measures you're taking to resolve the dispute?
We have engaged the KSG, we've written to them, and we've had several meetings with the director.
Are there correspondences in the files before?
Yes, yes, yes.
On which page?
Annex 15.
Because that's a concern of the Auditor General. There was no evidence that the county made efforts to revive and complete the project. Annex 15 is volume? Volume 3 or volume 2? Page? You have done well to paginate, so it's easy just to tell us the page. Where is it? It starts from here. Yes. Going this way or going this way? This way. But that's budget estimates.
Page 752. Page 752.
So just describe what is on page 752.
The letter to the Director General, Professor.
What is the substance? Just summarize the substance.
It was just to allow to ask for KSG to allow county government to construction.
So you acknowledge that the land belongs to KSG?
Yeah, the land belongs to KSG.
So nani mchokozi?
Because they allowed us to do dispensary and VTC. And through public participation, the community requested that we do stalls so that those patients who come to the dispensary and also those who go to the VTC, they can get some commodities from there.
Governor, that's very kienyeji. You infringe, you trespass on my property once, I keep quiet. You do it twice, I keep quiet. Then you expect the third time I should be quiet because I didn't raise an issue in the first two instances.
We assumed it's government land, they will not have issues.
You head the county government of Kwale. You don't head the national government of Kenya.
True.
I think we don't need to be too casual about these things. You've got a county attorney. County attorney, is this the kind of advice you have been rendering to a governor who is also a member of your profession? Because if the governor was a Kaya elder, we would doubt her legal judgment.
Thank you, Chair. If I may respond, I think it's important to give the geographical location of where the schools were proposed.
There is nothing more useful you are going to say with that approach. The governor has confirmed, and this letter, the way it is written, you are seeking the permission of KSG to use their land. It is your responsibility to provide proper advice before execution.
I'm well guided, Chair.
Yeah, because otherwise we will also be the Law Society of Kenya.
I'm well guided, Chair.
Fine. So we keep this in view and encourage the governor to use proper legal means to ensure that projects do not stall due to lack of ownership of land. Construction of market stalls at Msambweni Hospital, is this the same thing that we are dealt with?
Yes.
Electrification of market stalls, 7.9 million had been spent for electrification of market stalls in Pongwe, Kikoneni, Samburu, Chengoni, Kinango, Puma, and Wang Ombeni wards. On 5th of May 2023. Governor, why would this be pending for that long?
I think the first contract was terminated. It has been given to another contractor who is on site. So the works are on progress.
But the contractor had already been paid 7.9 million. So what was delivered for 7.9 million?
The contract sum was 7 million. 7.9 million.
Auditor General, you are saying the contractor was not on site after being paid an amount of 7.955 million.
No, he was paid 4.6.
So, Auditor, you are the professional who went on the ground. I will trust you more. How much was the contractor paid?
The contractor, as at October 2025, the contractor was not on site after being paid an amount of 7,955,379.
And you're basing that on a payment voucher or actual transfer to the contractor? On an invoice or a payment?
Several documents, Chairman.
Several documents. Yeah. Governor, your figures cannot be different.
We have attached payment vouchers, payment certificates and vouchers.
No, Governor, that's not useful because you want us to audit now. The audit was already done. The auditor reported that 7.9 million had been paid. It was your duty to challenge that in the management letter.
The CC in charge is here.
And it was a duty of the CC in charge to do that at the management letter, not at the Senate. CC, how much was paid?
Thank you, Chair. The amount that was paid is 4,682,604.
How do we trust your narration? Is there any evidence in the file?
Chair, we have attached the certificates.
Auditor General, have you looked at what they have attached? And is that what was presented to you at the time of audit?
Chair, what we have, we verified various documents. We went through the contract document, we went through payment vouchers, we went through what went through the system, the ledgers, and our figure that was picked at that particular time was 7,955,379. If they had a contra review, Chair, audit is a process.
Correct.
Management letter level, draft audit report level, and even before we issue the final audit certificate, they still have a grace period to come and clarify.
The numbers cannot change from Kwale to Nairobi. 7.9 cannot become 4.6 when it reaches Nairobi. So can you, Governor, you must direct your officers to cooperate with the Office of the Auditor General so that we know exactly what was paid, because we are going to make recommendations. We need to know whether to make recommendations on 7.9 or 4.6. For 4.6, what was delivered? Assuming it was 4.6.
For the 4.6, it was the electrification of the various markets. So the wiring, the putting of the piping that go with all the sockets and all that. So the remaining part in all these markets is just connecting to the grid. And one of the challenges.
What do you mean electrification? Were you doing cabling or you are bringing light to the markets?
It's the entire process of doing the lights, the wiring.
For 4.6, is there any single bulb that went on?
There is none because.
So there's no value for money.
The reason, Honorable Chair, is the last part where the contractor was to engage Kenya Power to connect so that now we can switch on the lights. So everything is ready.
So the 4.6 brought you to a state where it's only Kenya Power that was required?
Yes, the last bit that is remaining now.
So if the contract, what was the total contract sum? 7.9. So you are saying that the remaining 3.3 million would be to pay Kenya Power?
For the various markets.
3.3 million will be due to Kenya Power?
Through the contractor, yes.
Auditor General, you'll help us to understand this because we cannot trust the numbers of a man who has not taken oath. So you are the ones who are going to help us to understand this before we do our report writing.
Noted, Chair.
Samburu Public Library. Governor.
It's complete.
As at the time of audit, it was incomplete.
It's now complete.
But at the time of audit, it was incomplete.
Yes, that time. It's now complete.
Auditor, have you had a view on this?
Chair, it is also one of the projects we verified on the 2nd of this month, and we confirm that it's complete.
It is complete?
Yeah.
Kwale Library?
It is complete and in use.
Even though at the time of audit, it was not complete. I mean, it's, you know, Governor, it's very rare to find counties budgeting for libraries. And I think, and yet the library function is devolved. And I think I do not want to congratulate you because I've not congratulated any of your colleagues. They might think there's a gender dimension to it. But this is impressive that we are planning to have libraries, but I hope it's not just walls with some dusty Mills and Boons books.
It's in use. I can confirm it's in use. In fact, we have photos of the same attached. We have each for every sub-county.
Every sub-county, there is a library?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I saw one in Garissa and it is in a storage state. And we know libraries are devolved. Is it, do you have modern books? What is in it in that library? Maybe just under 30 seconds, just describe.
The CC, yeah.
Before the CC responds, let me remind you that Kwale County is a county full of people who are into the reading culture. So we are a reading cultured people, Chair.
Yeah,
so you must congratulate us for, give us our flowers, Chair.
So
when we read and we need the libraries and they are provided for, Chair, you must commend us for that, Chair.
Why don't you wait for 14th? Just relax.
Just relax. Chair, can I assist inform you now in neighbor Kisumu? In Kisumu or Roma Bay where it comes, when you throw a stone, you are likely to hit a professor. So I think Kwale, you still need to come slow. In Roma Bay, in every village, you meet a professor.
Yeah, but I think to be back on the serious bit, we rarely find counties prioritizing libraries. And I hope that in the next 1 or 2 years, we'll be talking about digital centers. Because books, people don't really read books or borrow books. The young ones like Chimera probably never went into a video library. I believe you never went into a video library. I believe you never saw a cassette, a C60 or a C90 cassette. So sometimes you can build a library and you are stocking it with the equivalent of a video, what was it called, a tape? It was a video tape. So there was someone who was to respond to Senator Cherargei's question.
Thank you, Chair. We have 3 modern libraries in Kwale, and in every library we are divided into sections. We have junior sections and the senior section. In fact, in this financial year, we are getting the books into the new syllabus. So the auditor captured remaining works of the Kwale Library. It was just a construction of a septic tank which was remaining. But the library is in use. In fact, it was commissioned by Her Excellency and it is fully operational. It's only that the septic tank was not complete by then.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that.
He didn't mention something about. She didn't mention something about internet or digital center within those libraries.
Thank you, Chair. We are in the process of connecting internet. In fact, we have budgeted for this financial year in 2 of our libraries, that is Lunga Lunga Library and the Kinango Library. And we are also going to use the e-readers in those libraries. So we are up to date.
I think there's a substantive audit query that is related to that. Let's come to it Let's first ask ourselves about Ukunda Gombato Bongwe Road. You spent 104 million. Governor, is there a road?
The road is not complete. The county attorney will respond to this. The CC.
Chair.
Yeah.
The contract was terminated on the 12th of November 2021 after the contractor failed to resume works even after being issued with notice of slow progress, dated 19th August 2021. The contractor went to court to dispute the termination. As a result, the contract has stalled due to pending court issues. Attached fine notice of slow progress, court summons, and correspondence from the legal team. Annex 20.
What was the length of the road?
It's the total length is 6.3 kilometers. The contract was for 6.3 kilometers. So it was terminated at a point where the length of road that was complete with blacktop was 2.52 kilometers.
So it stalled at what percentage?
The percentage was around 45%.
And so an equivalent has been paid?
Yes, the amount that has been paid, because the total contract sum is 277 million. 277 million, we've only paid as stated, which is way less than the 50%.
So I hope this has also been captured in the contingent liabilities. Auditor, if you look at their contingent liabilities, all these matters that are stuck in court, contractual matters that are stuck in court, have they disclosed?
No, not really, Chair.
County Attorney, I think the last time you were here, we talked about